Everybody, welcome to beautiful Tennessee. We just got off doing the tail of the Dragon, probably one of the most iconic riding roads here in North America, and we're riding this bad boy. This is the 2024 Yamaha MT-09 SP. Now, a couple of months back, I got to have a really good ride on the standard one. Absolutely loved it. In fact, I loved it that much that I asked Yamaha for it, and I still haven't given it back. It's still in my garage, and now my 7-year-old demands that I go riding with him like basically every day on it. So the standard one has become a bit of a hit in the Skatesbrook household, but the MT-09 SP is the one that's ratcheted up a little bit more. Now, $12,299 for your MT-09 SP. That's $1,700 more than the standard. So what do you get? Well, let's start with what you don't get. And you don't get a different engine, you don't get a different chassis. So 890 cc inline 3, which is just a marvelous piece of engineering. Absolutely love the thing. It still does suffer a little bit from that flat spot, that emissions induced flat spot, which the standard one does, but you know, you're gonna get that on the big jobs. It's the same exhaust system, same mapping, same everything. However, if we look further into the details, what you do get is fully adjustable KYB front suspension. And you get high and low speed compression damping as well, which is really, really nice. You also get a Öhlins shock, and you get remote preload adjuster, so there is no excuse anymore for not figuring out your preload and making sure the thing doesn't sink down when you're going through corners. Now, straight off the bat, that's the biggest difference with your MT-09 SP. The ride quality is ratcheted up pretty substantially. Now, not just in terms of sporting performance, like yes, it's better when you're ripping through canyons and doing all that stuff, but it's just better overall. It's a nicer, smoother ride, especially over really rough corrugations. I mean, yes, tail of the Dragon, especially on the North Carolina side, is just beautiful, like billiard smooth. But when you get to the Tennessee side, it gets a little bit rough. And so when you hit those kind of square edge bumps and like big dugouts, I should say, from the trucks and the cars and all that, look, gotta be honest, I didn't do back to back with the standard one. But now, having ridden this thing is much more composed and yeah, really, really nice. And overall, you just don't get as tired as what you would on something like the standard bike. Now with the SP, you do get your standard 2 customs, range, street and sport modes. But with this bike, you actually get 4 track modes. Now, look, when you break it down, it's really just kind of like having a custom mode. So you can effectively have 6 custom modes. It's not like you get separate track specific performance. You know, you can still dial up your engine to as you know, full on as you want. You can, but the actually one good thing is you get 2-stage engine brake control, which the standard bike doesn't have. But it just gives you more choice. It's almost death by choice now, to be honest. Like you can get quite lost in the algorithm because there is so much choice now. But look, it's still, at its base, it's still an MT-09. You know, it's not going to, you're not going to jump on this thing and think there's an enormous difference between this and the base model. Again, that same engine which just pulls wheelies everywhere, and that really nicely balanced chassis, much better brakes. Yeah, overall it's a brilliant bike. It still comes with excellent Bridgestone S23 rubber. Now, if you actually want to go and learn a little bit about the S23, I did a really big test on that in South Africa last year, so get up there and check that out. But overall, it's a really lovely bike. Cruise control, all that good stuff. It's not like it's, you know, it's not radar adjusted cruise control. You don't have any of that stuff, but you know, 6-axis IMU, cornering ABS, all that stuff. Really lovely quick shifter. You get all the mod cons, and you know, $12,299, $1,700 difference over the base model. But you know, you get a lot for your money. I mean, if you were to go and take your standard MT-09 and then try and option it up to that level, minus the electronics, obviously it can't do that, but if you wanted to throw the suspension out and things like that, it's gonna cost you a lot more than $1,700. So yeah, a really lovely bike, and you know, tail of the Dragon, it doesn't get much better when you're chasing guys like Josh Hayes and all that. So yeah, it was a bit of a pinch me moment earlier on today, and a great bike to do it on. You know, the MT-09 has been probably the most iconic bike of the last 10 years, I think, for Yamaha. It was the one that brought in the 3-cylinder engine, got Yamaha into the 3-cylinder game and took them head on with triumph. So it's definitely served its purpose, the MT-09, and now you've got the SP. You know, everything's just that little bit nicer, better braking, much better suspension. Yeah, it's a ripper of a bike.